Welcome to Excel Module 5. This is the last Excel module we'll do for this course, and for me this one proved to be a little bit difficult just because there's a lot of small things. Not because there's anything big and challenging, it's just a lot to keep in memory and communicate to all of y'all. So let's dive straight in. We are starting on slide 8, as you can see, because there's really not much point to covering the first 7 slides. It's things you've already seen. So we're going to first talk about these format codes. And these should be pretty self-explanatory in and of themselves. These are placeholders and markers that you can use to format your data entries in your spreadsheet. And we can use these to create our own. So we can make our own format codes, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to click back over to Excel, and we are going to select a range of cells that has what we want. We're going to right-click inside it, and we're going to format cells. Now, we make sure that the numbers tab is selected, or number tab is selected, pardon me, and we go down to custom. And as you can see, we already have one selected here. So this is where you will go to enter your custom format codes should you need to. So when you are done, you press OK. And we're going to be clicking back and forth between this and the PowerPoint just because there's so much stuff. So let's keep going. Creating a custom format code, I just showed you that. Creating a new cell style, very simple process. So here on the Home tab of the ribbon, we want to come over here to the Styles section. And this drop-down arrow, we click this. You should remember this from Module 1. This is how we select some basic styles. What we're going to do is create our own style, though. And by default, it's going to use any selected range of cells as a basis for styling. And so you get this dialog box here. We got all these check boxes. You can enter a name for it. And as always, when you're done, you click OK. We're just going to click Cancel. I'm not going to create a new cell style. I just want you to see that this is where you need to go for this. So we're clicking Cancel. And next on our to-do list, applying a new style is exactly the same as applying an established one. You select your range of cells, and then you click the style you want them to have. Adding a worksheet to a workbook. We have 2 ways to do this. We can either copy and paste from one worksheet to another by selecting everything in one, creating a new one, and then pasting all of the data into the copy. But instead of doing that, I'm going to show you a much faster way. So we're going to go to the Recreate Sheet tab, which, if you recall from the last lecture, is pretty much exactly the same as the example one. We just use this to essentially repeat our steps from Module 4. So we're going to hold Control, place our mouse over the Recreate Sheet tab. We're going to click and drag off to the side here. When we release it, we get Recreate 2. So we're going to use these two, along with example, to demonstrate the remaining steps. Oops. So let's keep moving. Copy a worksheet using shortcut menu. Of course, you can just click and copy it. Well, let's actually have a look at that. Right-click on Recreate 2. And we have the Move or Copy. And while we're here, I want to talk about something else. So here we have our Move or Copy option. Now what we want to do is save this Recreate 2 as a new workbook. And then we will create a copy, and this is going to open another Excel window that has our Recreate 2 worksheet. So let's click OK. And there we have it. Now, if we want to go to our other worksheets, what we do is we want to look for the switch windows. Click this. We have a drop down, book 1, which is our Recreate 2, and then we have Excel Module 5 example. We'll click that, and we are back to where we were. And actually, now that we have that other workbook, I don't want this anymore. So I'm not even going to get rid of it. I'm just going to hide it. To drill an entry through worksheets. So not only can you enter data on a single worksheet, you can enter it in the same spot in multiple worksheets. So what we want to do, and let's just quickly read these steps. We want to right click the sheet and click select all sheets. And we type the entry in the desired cell and press down arrow. We keep doing that until we're done. Right click the sheet tab, and then you want to click ungroup sheets. And then you'll look through and you'll see that the same information has been put into all of your worksheets within a given workbook. So let's find that. Down at the bottom. Select all sheets. And I'm just going to put my name in this cell here. Press enter, and now we'll ungroup. So it's here in Recreate, and it should be here in Example, and it is. So we're going to show you later how you can use this to create what we call a 3D formula. And we're also going to show you how to do this across different workbooks, because we can make references between our Excel files. And in fact, if I recall correctly, the 3D formula, yes, is next. Or we call it a 3D reference, rather. So what we do is we select the desired cell that's going to contain our formula. We're going to go to the other sheet, and then we're going to select the cells from that sheet. So back to here, we're going to use, we're going to have Recreate hold our formula. We're going to do equals sum. And it did say use auto sum. That's not necessary. We're just going to write the sum function. You can use auto sum. Sam might expect you to use auto sum. If it says to use it, use it. So now we want to go to example. And just for fun, we're going to sum all of this table. It's going to be a huge number. So left click, click and drag. And it's going to give us all of these cells. So once we're done, press enter. And it kicks us back to the Recreate tab so that we can see. And we have like $6.5 million here. I know it's not 100% clear that that's what's going on because the numbers are the same across the two worksheets. But if you look at the formula, we come up here. And we see that it's actually referencing the example worksheet. If you want to choose one manually, this is how you do it. The name of the sheet tab followed by an exclamation mark followed by your cell references. And if we come over to the example worksheet, you'll see that the result, this is not here anymore. It is in fact blank. So that's one of the more important parts of this week's lecture, alongside using an external reference, which we'll get to later. Using the paste gallery, we know this. Inserting a 3D pie chart, this is going to be a slight revisit because there is a new feature that we are showing off here. So let's make our pie chart. Let's do year 5. Let's let's do the year 5 stats here. So we want to hold control, drag across, and we know at this point how to insert things. It's just go to the Insert tab. We're looking for the pie charts, so pie or donut, and we are looking for a 3D pie. There we go. Let's, just for neatness sake, we're going to drag it over here. We're not going to move it to its own book. And so we see we have our 4 pieces of data here. Now, what are they asking us to do next? Move a chart, nope. Resize, we know how to do that. To explode a slice. This sounds really exciting, but it's not. So we want to click a pie slice twice. Don't double click it. So you want to click, wait a second, click again. Then you want to right click the desired slice to display a shortcut menu. Click Format Data Point on the shortcut menu to open the Format Data Point pane, and this is where you select your Explode a Slice option. So let's do this gray one. Click it again. Now we right click it. We're looking for Format Data Point. Here it is at the bottom. And it opens this. So we're using the Point Explosion slider. You can click and drag. You can just click until it's where you want it to be. And let's look over here. You can see that as we explode it out farther, it's going to pull it away from the rest of the chart. So we don't want to go that far out. You just want it to be about like that. That looks good. And that's going to apply emphasis to a particular data point. This is a very handy tool when you are creating, say, infographics for a PowerPoint presentation. You can bring these over into PowerPoint. We also have the angle of the first slice. We can change this. And that's going to rotate the pie. It's a little precise to grab, but let's... Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, moving on. Rotating the chart, showed you that. Formatting data labels, we've done that before. Done that. To change margins and center the printout horizontally, want to right-click the desired sheet tab and click Select All Sheets in the shortcut menu. I want to display the Page Layout tab and click the Page Setup dialog box. And everything should be pretty easy to find from that. So, select this, select all sheets. We've got a page layout. And we are looking for the Page Setup. So we'll just slowly make our way right while we look for it, and it is not here. One moment. Oh, it's not a singular button on the ribbon. It is the ribbon section. Pardon me. So we click this here. That's going to open this dialog box. And we want to... it says we want to center it horizontally. Let's double check where it exists, where exactly it expects us to do this. So it says... Excel displays the page setup dialog box. If necessary, click the Page tab to select the desired orientation. Then we move to the Margins tab, and we click horizontally. So, we're on page. Our orientation, we want to leave it as portrait, and everything else we'll leave alone. Margins. Set our margins the way that we like them, and we want this to be horizontal. And then, of course, we have the header, footer. This is where you can insert those. You have these options here. Or you can do custom footer. And of course you have your sheet tab here, which we're not worried about. So when you're done, you click OK. And we move on. So the next thing it wants us to do is add a header. This is where we go to the page layout button on the status bar. Now, I'm not going to do this because this was something that happened in one of the previous modules in the SAM project, even though it wasn't covered. So by the time you get to this, you should already know how to do this. But just remember, it's asking you for the page layout button down here on the bottom of your screen, not the page layout tab on the ribbon. That has thrown off very, very, very many people, including myself. And of course, the way that you add a header is the same as the way that you add a footer. Creating a separate file from a worksheet, we've already done that. Search for and open workbooks. You know how to do this. You're going into Explorer. You're going to click the things you want to open. You're going to click Open. Switching to a different open workbook. We've already done this. To arrange multiple workbooks, we want to click the Arrange All button. So let's show that off. Well, we still got everything selected. I believe it is on the View tab. We just want to slowly search Align All, or Arrange All rather, and that's going to open this up for us. So we have tiles, horizontal, vertical, cascade. Just choose the one that you want or the one that you're expected to use. Click OK. Now let's ungroup all of these. And now that we have these both like this, I want to maximize them. This one here. I just want to undo what we did here. And now we head back into, our PowerPoint. Consolidate data by linking workbooks. All right, so this is similar to drilling data. What we want to do is we're going to insert a reference to another workbook inside an existing workbook. So we want to select the desired worksheet and begin a formula in the desired cell. And we display the View tab and click Switch Windows. Select the next desired worksheet and select the desired cell to use the formula from the first worksheet. Continue selecting cells and references until you have everything you want, and then we're done. So let's go into this one here, and we're going to do a similar formula to this one. We're actually going to first delete it, and now we're going to do equals sum. And now we use, you need to use switch windows, otherwise this is going to not work very well. So switch windows, go here, and we're going to select this range of cells. Press enter. And as you see, it just took us back to this other workbook. So now we have not only made reference to other worksheets in the same Excel project, we also have made reference to an entirely different Excel file. And let's see how that looks here. So we have sum, book 1, recreate 2. So you have your workbook name in brackets, and then you have your worksheet name just outside that. And both of these are in single quotes. And then you just have your cell references here. Very simple. It's just a little bit unorthodox in how it feels, but as long as you're paying attention, it shouldn't cause you too many problems. And that is going to do it for this module. So, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Otherwise, good luck with your assignments.